Hello there, this is the Whaler Fuzz from Matthew's Effects, which, interestingly enough, I never paid attention that there's no apostrophe. I just assumed that it was some guy named Matthew, and it was his effects. But, after meeting him really briefly at NAMM this summer, his last name is Matthews. So, cheers to me for not paying attention, and fun fact for you that you probably don't care about. My apologies. Anyway, onto the pedal. It's pretty easy. Fuzz pedal, you have output over here, which is just the overall level. We're going to leave that at around unity gain the whole time, give or take, and not really mess with it. Input is kind of how much junk and fuzz is being driven in from a minimum to a maximum. Squish is kind of like the flavor of the fuzz. Like you can kind of hit a whole range. What does he say? Velcro-y to more just traditional fuzziness or something along those lines. Tone, lighter is counterclockwise, brighter, and then darker would be clockwise to the right there. And then body will work kind of with the tone knob, and it seems to cut mids. Like the further right that it goes, I think it cuts mids is the whole deal. On-off here. And then if you are silly like me, you look at these labels of these knobs, and I just sort of thought that the jacks on the back were backwards. They're not. This is still input, and this is still output, just like you would think, as far as the jacks go. So, saving you half a second there in case you were wondering. So let's get all this stuff up here-ish, and I'll let you hear what it sounds like. T57 Telecaster into the Morgan RCA 35. Sounds like this. And here's the Whaler Fuzz. You can kind of hear it start to break apart there as the notes die out, which is an interesting characteristic of this one over some of the other fuzzes maybe that you've played. But let's look first at the body knob over here on the right side, which is kind of full mids would be to the left, and then they're cut as it goes to the right. So I'll show you a little bit of that range-wise. Kind of hear what I'm talking about, that it gets kind of hollow, and then you can hear it start to degrade again there as you kind of hold single notes. It does that. But you can hear it gets more lively here on the left. And then, so we'll leave it there for now. We'll go to tone. Super like dark and bass heavy on that side. It definitely, as it gets brighter, it loses bass as you go over to this way, left counterclockwise way. So, yeah, you can hear the ripping apart kind of sound again. So definitely less bass when it gets over there. We'll put this back in the middle. We'll leave body where it is. And then let you hear kind of what this deal is. I think to the left is maybe more traditional fuzziness. Almost like more overdrive territory, maybe. Not overdrive. That's stupid. Distortion. Starting to kind of fizz out towards the end, which is a really cool effect. And then as it comes up here, there it goes fizzling out again. So you can it kind of gets more like ripping territory once it's there. The input, the less that you seem to drive into it and the less squish there is, the faster, especially single notes, will kind of break apart like that. Kind of fade out and fall away. Same, it's a little less so up here, but takes on this cool like lo-fi characteristic once it's more up there. And then when you just drive the heck out of the circuit is kind of when you hear the most sustain and the least of it breaking up like that. So up here, crazy. And then coming all the way down to this end. So anyway, this is kind of, I guess that's right about where it is. This is something that a voice that I was particularly liking on this one, so. Just great rippy fuzziness that's fun for everybody. So that's the Whaler Fuzz, Matthews Effects. I'll put a link to it down in the profile below. And feel free to subscribe if you want to spend 5 minutes with some more random guitar gear. And until next time, bye-bye.